Hey, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. So, as you can see, I'm on the Nightblade. I have been getting the DK up for those people curious from the Discord. Yeah, it's kind of 25-ish, so I will try and finish it later today. But yeah, we're going to jump into the PvP event, which is Battlegrounds. So it's Chaos Ball or Chaos Ball. We'll queue for that and then kind of just see how the Nightblade and stuff is feeling. And I want to make a few changes to this as well. So as always, if you get any questions about my builds, then leave a comment and I'll do my best to reply. I've got a jumper in the chat who says he loves watching the ESO PvP, which is great. Yeah, PvP is great in ESO. It's like one of the good things of the game. I can poor Bambi there. Let's just check we've got some food. For the build, for people curious, we're using Maul of the Fire, double dot poisons, 1 Krog, fire, and wretched vitality. We are pairing this with Oaken Soul, and it's more because it's for people that kind of want a bit of an easier build, so this is quite easy to play. You do sacrifice things going with 1 bar over 2, but it is very easy. But that's what I'm using for this build here. Skill wise, for people curious, it's this, so you can just rewind if you need to. One thing to note is you do want to get, I think, Shadow Barrier, because this does proc Wretched Vitality, so that's just good to know. But that's all of the skills, so should you need to go and have a look back. So whilst we're waiting, we're going to Cyrodiil. Try and get some tier 1 stuff done. My horse is really bad. Like, really bad. Okay, that is full. I don't know if we can get in there though, that's the thing. Oh! So we'll pop into Cyrodiil, try and get some action. And yeah, and put the Nightblade through its paces. Okay, so Lessie is under attack. We have Bleakers. So we could go to Bleakers or we could go to Alessia. I feel like we're going to chance and go to Alessia. We are queued for Battlegrounds, but Alessia has really good fights. I think my CP is on this character. We have 620 CP, so not much to play with. You could probably get some more of this, because that's quite nice, that is. You're right, Odin. Odin said it made him loads of shiny blue death coins. Telva. Yeah, no, that's great. I'm pleased it helps. That's kind of why I do the channel, is to just give people that stuff that works. And yeah. I do try to update them when I get around to it, I just never get a chance. You ideally want to get Ironclad, but I'm always like, I just don't have the CP on NA, which is really depressing. So we're just going to dump some in here for now and just chuck it there, because we might as well get something out of it. 81 here. Pain's Refuge is a must, in all honesty. Sustained by Suffering is pretty decent as well, actually. That's quite a good CP start to get. Yeah, Odin guys, they alter the build so often, so it's really hard to kind of find things that work over time, which I would agree. I think, yeah, there is definitely there's a lot of kind of changes at ZOS. Some of them are interesting, to say the least. Some you can kind of get behind, some of them you just can't. I just don't have the CP that I want, so that's really depressing. What class in particular that you find difficult? Oh, nothing at the moment. Fair enough. Okay, oh look, the lumber's under attack. Which is that way. No worries. So we're queued for Battlegrounds and we're in Cyrodiil currently. Oh, that's gone blue, that has, so that is safe. Just checking I got my PvP stuff in. Yeah, I got that in. That's literally just for the spec bow because it will go a bit further. Yeah, on my sniper I use Way of the Fire and Dial Up Bray currently. I put a video over on Patreon a couple weeks back, probably about 2 months ago actually, when the patch dropped, from testing like extensively, and it was still pretty much the best. Like Way of the Fire and anything is like the best sniper setup, because fire just does so much consistent damage that anything else just helps. Or BGs. So if you wanted to snipe, I would use Way of the Fire. I like the Wild Hunt ring, that's really good for speed. Yeah, it's good. I think snipe's not as good as it used to be, just a heads up. Like the damage, so I have on this character 4.9k weapon damage. So kind of standard sniper build, you might have 6k if you push it. And snipe tooltip is 8.6. So like you'll find you often have like a, let me get in stealth quick. So this is with 10% plus the vampire and it's 10k. So you find that most snipe tooltips are like 13,000 max damage. And it's just not enough to one-shot people like you used to be able to. You don't need to hold, don't even need to stealth, just hold shift and run. Oh, I didn't mean to roll dodge there. That's a terrible time to roll dodge. Oh, it's dead. That was a big spec bow, the 10k. Yeah, we're going to get away from there because we're low on health. Yep, I knew it coming. You can just literally feel it. 2 DKs. Yeah, no worries, Odin. Jumper says he doesn't play PvP often. Yeah, PvP is like a completely different game to PvE. Like it's much more reaction based and kind of knowing the mechanics. I went to go for the cheeky execute. I was going for spec bow and then I did. He is quick, isn't he? The vampire stage 4 has went invisible. I went to go for the roll and couldn't see Z roll. That was a good stun though by him, it was a good medium weave. Big crit though, 10k crit, that's huge, that was. Get some distance. I want to go for the Templar who's going to beam me spam. You can see the beam spam. That Jador. He's on a very high burst Nightblade he is. loads of crit damage. I have no impen on this, by the way. So if you're wondering why I'm getting hit with really big crits, I have like no impen. So yeah, run some impen would help prevent that. We've got the relic, which the chaos ball. Move out of there. Yep. Graveyard, that's a good graveyard. Vicious death, get me. Does impen stop crit damage or chance? So impen reduces crit damage. So currently I reduce crit damage by about 20%, but with full impen you reduce it by 40%. So I'm taking like 20% more damage on crits, roughly. So it does add up quite quickly, it does. Whoa. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, impen just reduces crit damage, it does, taken. Oh, that's a good stun for that. There's a Templar spamming out the healing ult. Oh, that's him dead. That was a good amount of burst then, that was. That snare that they decast is really annoying. Oh, that's a terrible time to get stunned. Oh, I went to go for the roll execute. He hit me with beam. I take those. Surprising to see Templars using Dizzying Swing. He literally like sitting in shield ult, wasn't he? Every time he'd like try to get me to just block, spam heal or shield ult. That was good though. 10 to 5. Definitely had some good bursts there in that match. Vigor would be the better choice for more sustained healing and resistances, but I really like the Shrewd offering because of the ability to spam the burst heal, which is really nice. I'm just putting a poll up for the people curious. So I'm just kind of what class you want to see next. So there is a poll if you want to take part. You don't have to. And we'll queue for Cyrodiil whilst we're waiting. Sorry about that. So I might try going with surprise attack. I've been using concealed weapon recently and I quite like it. But I wonder whether surprise would be better because I have mag sustain issues, as you've probably noticed. Level DK, well, free XP is up and running. Yeah, I hate leveling though. It's really tedious. Like really tedious. But it's kind of one of those necessities that you kind of need to do. And yes, there's double XP. I know Merlin's on. Let me see if he's about. Merlin is like insane at leveling up. Like it is actually ridiculous. So he goes to Black Rose Prison and you literally just sit there. And we've kind of got it down to a T. So I use a vampire drain. So I lower my health. And he literally just goes and kills everything. And I just die, respawn. And like your just XP goes up rapidly. It's ridiculous. Oh, that's just been flipped back, isn't it? Where next? We could go to Alessia, which is a bit of a track. Oh, you're right, Shadow. That makes sense now. Yeah, so he's saying he did the that for the void black colour. To be fair, that void black colour is really nice, so I can kind of get it. And yeah, I think you're doing your second account, aren't you? If I recall. So there, that is dedication. So it's one account, 18 characters. Oh, he's on a stupid tank build. My beach is ready. We need something with a hard stun. This feels like battle. Yeah. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere, is that? That is really not going anywhere. Shadow says second on NA and once on EU. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of characters to level. There's not anybody I recognise. There is a poll going for people curious, by the way. So if you want to see a specific class, just message in chat or join the poll. I actually thought they were going to come pop round. That's what the greens went. Some big dots in that guy. That guy has massive dots, though. That's him dead. Yeah, loads of dots there. That is... It's a lot of dot damage. This is why I want a DK. Because it's just like... Noxious Breath. So the first set of Noxious Breath did 4.4k damage. That's a lot of damage. So it's basically a spammable with an AoE and a dot on it, and the breach is really good. There's a lot of DKs in this match, it seems. He's on a tank, that's pointless. Big whip from that guy. There's a Nightblade spamming. That Blood Craze is hitting really hard. 1600 a tick. That is a lot of damage. 1400 a tick. Normally you don't worry about dots. Oh, that's a good cloak. Waiting for that Nightblade. He's to blow himself up. There you go. I was waiting for the bomb. Oh, I know Merlin. That dot damage though is really, really nasty. And invisible. That was a lot of bursts there. A lot of bursts on that Templar. Here's a pet potion up, yes. That Nightblade is like really trying to snipe me, isn't he? I will try a surprise attack next match, I think. We've been using concealed for a couple weeks now. That roll dodge was like perfect, that was. Oh, legit, I pushed the potion on the hill, but the roll dodge didn't go off. That's unfortunate. So you'll see where I roll when I push B, and the hill didn't fire. Because the game, like I said, I was already dead. How did I get in there? I've never seen anyone in there. Oh, okay, that's well cheesy. Look at that. That is such a cheaty spot. Have you ever seen anybody get in that spot? That's ridiculous, that spot. Like, actually ridiculous. I can see loads of people abusing that. He's gone, isn't he? Big burst still with the Dragon Knights. Oh, I'm like a fossilized away from dying, I am. I went to his corrosive, he did. That was good though. Looking at the poll, people are saying keep on the Standblade. We are going to change to surprise attack. and we'll see how that fares. But yeah, if you've got a preference of what to use, jump into the poll and obviously cast it there. Okay, so we've got surprise attack. We'll see how that is. Like, we'll get the guaranteed crit after the initial crit from stealth, so that could be quite nice. Yeah, oh, there's under attack. Alright, so the mine is going. Is that going yellow or red? I think it's yellow. Yeah, yellow. So if you notice, I'm just going to click just to have a little look at who's there. They got a healer with them, they have. So where's always a fossilize that does it? So when people run into a tower, they often they're trying to pull up people that are going to get open to like an ult dump. So you kind of want to not be the first in. Yeah, so they've got healers with them there. They'll pop upstairs? No, they're not. So they are in a dedicated group with a healer. You got pulled by a dark convergence. So when there's a healer in a group like that, you won't be able to burst easily unless you have like all damage sets, which I don't. And you see Dark Convergence just pulls you through stuff anyway. We're gonna pop to Bleakers, there's always good fights up there. And you'll find that whoever you see online, content creator wise, that you'll find any kind of small scale player against a coordinated group, you just kind of have to just pick your losses sometimes and just go, or just go, you know what, you're not going to kill them because you don't have enough burst without landing like an in-cap into a spec bow into an execute in a kind of a global window when they don't have any hots on them is really hard. Doable, but really hard, especially against players with lots of group buffs like Rally and Cry and stuff. So that's why we've left that area there, because it's just not worth the time. Like, it really isn't. There is a poll up, by the way, if you want to see a specific class. So if you haven't done so already, you can take part in that. I'll reset it in a moment. That's unfortunate. the guy pushed on his armor buff, which pulled me out. You'll see it in a sec. Yeah, I missed the wild hunt ring. Like, I will change this build away from Oaken Soul, I think. And like, if you want to kind of go for damage, you are best going for Sea Serpents, which I just don't have on NA. That's him dead. He's tanky, isn't he? Like, stupidly tanky. I guess he was like on a tank, but even so. I will move up to Bleakert again. Baby Gangster, what a name. Oh, that's a tank dude, that is. Oh, he's fighting. I didn't realise he was fighting. I'm running fire and versatility. My glyphs are in the wrong place, though they are. I need more sustain on this. Gibberish said, how would you be a werewolf on a healer on a werewolf? It comes down to the sets, in all honesty. So you can't really heal as a werewolf with the werewolf skills, but what you can do is use sets that help you heal. So things like Winter's Respite has an AoE heal on you. So things kind of like that. Choke Thorn. That was a fortunate time the guards pop up, that was. Is he gonna pop up here? He is. Yeah, I need more stamina to sustain on this, I do, 100%. Yeah, I need more sustain on the stamina. I keep running out of stamina. So that's why I was using concealed weapon. But you'll see where I don't have the sustain to keep using my spammable. But yeah, to Gibberish's thing, I would go with a normal werewolf build and then just like skill wise, and then use sets that give you heals like Choker Thorn, Winter's Respite. Are you going to be like an optimal healer? No, but it'll be a bit of fun. What's my stam sustain on? It feels really bad. 1100. So one thing with Oaken Soul, you don't have snare removal. So when you get snared, it's like really, really sucks. So I think I will change it to for a pigeons. Is it, look, that's my speed. That is, it's so slow once you get hit with. That's a big hill. Yeah, I like playing a lot faster with Wild Hunt. With the block cars, I went to go for the medium wave with the whip spam. Yeah, I don't like surprise attack. Having used it just in this match and just a little bit in Cyrodiil, it just doesn't feel as good as concealed, in all honesty. Like that bonus damage you get out of stealth is really noticeable. That's my take anyway with it. But yeah, to Ergo thing from earlier is Where the Fire and Rich Vitality. That's a big burst with that coag. Capture that chaos ball. Everything's deathmatch. But the thing is, things like chaos ball and capture the relic and stuff, they really encourage like tanky playstyles and just healer builds, and healers are very, very good in PvP. Oh, the red when they go the incap into bow combo. But yeah, you just find that any group that has a healer, it generally wins. So there's a healer on that guy there. Does it off heals. And so yeah, I don't find the PvP modes that fun because it really kind of makes people build to exacerbate the issues or the weaknesses. And so you have to build tanky to do well, if that makes sense. We're waiting for the Nightmare to come out, you can see. But it literally just comes down to like a tank fest. Whichever team has the tankiest player or the tankiest player in the healer wins. When it was Capture the Relic the week before that even, it was just people running high speed builds, so like Triple Swift, Wild Hunt, Cloak, and just basically cloak into the Relic. And as soon as people devote, just steal the wreck and run back, and the match would finish within like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Like it really ruined how PvP felt. In all honesty, that was my big issue with it. Yeah, I didn't like. I didn't like using surprise attack. I found killers concealed weapon better. I think I prefer the speed boost that you get with it too. Because 15% doesn't seem like loads, but it does add up quite quick. Jacob, or Jacob might be pronounced. He's asked, is the PvP Vampire Warden still viable? Yes. I'm actually going to go on it in a second, because I enjoy Magical Warden. Let's switch to it now whilst waiting, because we're in a queue anyway. And I'll show you it working. This is on PCNA. I don't have the Master's Ice Staff on here, which I do on PCEU, but it works without it. So you can see like the fact that it works without it shows you it's still pretty solid. So this is what I'm using. What have I done? Wall power changes to Master's Ice if you have it. Battle Org, Torx Pact, Much Vitality. Regen Mundus, I am a Dark Elf on PCNA, but Breton's good. And basically I'm using Ice Frost Clench and Parted Blast as kind of the old school Mag DK playstyle, where you used to lock people in places and they couldn't like move. So the idea is that we do our combo, we get up to somebody, like nothing nearby. So you get up to somebody, immobilise them, then you switch, stun them and then go for the vampire's hit. So when they roll, you then do the Arctic Blast stun, and that stuns them mid-roll, so they have to CC break twice. And it's a lot of stamina drain, which is really good. So you have to get used to doing that kind of bar swap Arctic stun. It is really good. The thing I enjoy a lot about it is that people don't expect that. The stun on Arctic Blast. And I've changed a few skills, which I don't know if the video has it on there or not. We use Budding Seed, which is like stupidly OP. Like, this is ridiculous. We use this, we use Vigor, and we use Arctic Blast. So we have massive heal over time with a big burst heal. We have really, really good heal over time and armor. We have mini burst heal plus a stun. And we have also the control. So when we get attacked, we get something that adds to attack me, and just show you how much healing power it has. It's ridiculous, actually. So this is Bud and Seed. When you're inside it, you get that small heal constantly, and then you get a big heal after it. So you can do that with Vigor, and you're getting 2 small heals constantly. Which is nice. And you can do the stun on top of that. So what I normally find is I put down this wherever I'm going to fight. Now I'm going to fight inside this. And when it pops, I put it back down. Because I know that that's 6 seconds and I get like a 10k heal. In PvP it's like 5k. But a 5k heal every 6 seconds or something. It's pretty good, and I can recast it for the heal. So if somebody hits me with a really big burst heal, I can go with Arctic Blast, cast the Bud and Seed, and get the heal out of that as well. So they work really well to kind of give you that big healing power. My points I think are 48, 16, yeah, 48 Magicka, 16 health. I aim for about 30,000 health with minor toughness. Now I've got 28k on this build, but if I had Undaunted it would be 30,000. So yeah, 30,000 with Undaunted is kind of as much as you want, really. Ergo says Wall of Elements and Arctic. See, Wall of Elements with Torag's Pact is very good. There's a little thing which I don't think many people have noticed with Wall of Elements. So when you cast a ground-based AoE that's a weapon skill, like Wall of Elements, it will proc your enchantment on cooldown, back bar. So if I use, say, Torag's Pact with a Frost glyph on the back bar, what will happen is when I cast down Wall of Frost, the glyph will proc every 2 seconds someone's on it, and I can still use my front bar glyph, which is, if that's different to, say, Absorb Magicka, which is very similar damage, you end up getting a lot of damage out of Torag's Pact. And I used to use a build just like that. It was kind of like the floor is lava was the idea of it. That's him dead. That's him dead. Two dead? Yeah, 2 kills. You can get... you can stay still. Four kills, sweet boot. You can get it given from up players, so if you're in a guild, just type in a guild looking for Vampire Bite, and people will give you a bite for free. Some people might charge you for it, which is a bit crappy in all honesty. Oh, he did roll dodge. Oh, I got greedy there. I got greedy, you can see that. You're right, Tate. Tate's going, how are things? Yeah, things are there. My back's on the mend. I pulled my back the other day. And I pulled it in probably the most stupidest way as well. And it's like really embarrassing. I went to go for the sun and I got stunned. That was unfortunate, that was. Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing, Ego, is just draining the stamina. If you use the ice glyph on Wall of Frost with Torix Patch, it's like a guaranteed I got him. I tried pushing my potion. I don't know if you heard the potion noise. I was pushing it. I pushed it twice in fire. That's annoying. There you go. Never played. Is it a DPS or tank healer? This is a damage dealer, but it's kind of got healing power on it. You find a Warden's kind of a jack of all, does everything well. So to your question, Snakes, Elder Scrolls Online is MMO, but it has kind of the old trinity of like healer, tank, damage dealer. It kind of has, but every class can kind of do it all. So you can make every class into a tank of some type, or into a healer. The only kind of confusing part is healing scales with damage. So you find damage dealers are also quite good healers. I think Standard does. But that's where that stun there, you'll see that in a moment. Where he roll dodges and I stun him mid roll dodge with Arctic Blast. That's where it really shines, doing this combo. You drain their stun. I haven't played Neverwinter myself. We should probably play the objective for now. I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to help my team. I did as much as I could. 16 to 4 on Magic or Warden. What's that? It's too bad. Okay, there's a poll about to go up. we can morph Dawnbreaker. I've been trying to do this for freaking ages. You might notice my Dawnbreaker's been hit like a wet noodle and it's not stunning people. And that stuns people. This is a huge change to the build. Like, it's going to be so much easier to get kills. But that's what you do normally to people. Now we are... Oh, BG's is ready. We could use a Torx Pat Ice Staff Bat Bar with Wall of Elements. And that works really well for like controlling the ground. I don't know if I have one on here though. I would need to craft one. Yeah, I would need to make a... I could probably do it with Wretched Vitality too, to be fair. Yeah, I'd need the Wretched Vitality Ice Staff infused with Frost Glyph. That's what I need to get. Because that way I can still keep the same setup. My Torx patch is on my body, so this is always active. So if we went with Wretched Vitality Ice Staff Bat Bar, that would be very good as well for this build. We would have to change a skill though, which is going to be hard to find what to change, but I quite like how this plays. Just get our armor buff, so. There we go. See, that's the difference with having the Dawnbreaker. Oh, I got hit with a whip. With an oaken whip. Bypassed my armor, that did. 4.7k. Yeah, when you get hit with a whip with corrosive, it goes through all your armor. Really annoying. But I do like trees. Yeah, this is my latest one. How's that not in the range? Trees is very good though when you need that. Oh, my health bar went very low then. Louis says, are you playing on the newest Xbox? I'm playing on PCNA. I'm using a controller, just old habits die hard and stuff. I'd say to Blades are the mushrooms, the trio, sorry. Ah, they got corrosive. There it is. I hate corrosive so much. So Louis goes, why NA you sound English? Yeah, I'm English. Basically, PCNA had a server upgrade about 8 months ago. And although my ping's 175 plus on PCNA, the game actually works way smoother than on PCEU. So I made characters over there and started anew basically, and yeah, so that's kind of why, because the game actually works. And trying to make content is, yeah, when you're trying to make content and the game doesn't work, is somewhat frustrating. So yeah, you need to kind of have something that actually works. Yeah, I think gibberish is like there are definitely console players that have. Yeah, I'm using destructive clench because it stuns, immobilizes. Oh, the bar swap didn't work. The bar swap didn't work. I'm using Budding Seed. Ideally, I want to have the Master's Eye Staff on here, but I don't have it on NA. But I do have it on PCEU. So I'm missing like a lot of damage and sustain. But yeah, with the Dawnbreaker that stuns, like it's so much more noticeable. Yeah, so Frost Clench. This is a great skill. Yeah, I need to I will grab those and I need them on here. There's the potions fixed. So yeah, that was a big thanks to Shadow, by the way. He gave me loads of potions. Are they here? They are. Honestly, I burn through tri potions like there's no tomorrow. It's ridiculous. They're like my favourite potion type. I would say if you want to, you have two choices with the skills. Budding Seeds gives you a really big burst heal and a good heal over time. If you are able to kind of play in a bigger group, or you're good at kind of holding one area, this is very good. If you find you quite a lot though, Living Trellis is a good alternative, because this will give you lots of healing with a pseudo burst heal, but you can compare the numbers, it's like not as much. You got like a 10k burst heal when it finishes versus 4k, 4.9k, so it's like double the heal. So yeah. Gibberish is going, he's Dan's supplier. You sound like a dealer. like, it keeps me supplied, so I don't get any withdrawal. But yeah, Destructive Clench is really good. It gives the DK the Magical Warden the feel of a DK. So like where you're immobilizing people with talons, or in this case clench, and then you're using Fossilize or Arctic Blast to stun people when they're like mid-roll dodge, so they have to eat your damage, which is really nice. You do lack the burst heal. that a DK has, and you lack the execute that Stamden has. But beyond that, it is in a good place. The 9-second delay is really, really bad. They need to get rid of that. But all in all, it's really good. I would use an ice staff and show what Wall of Elements does if you get the Torogs with it. It's ridiculous, honestly. But the only thing though, you don't have that range spam ball. How many DKs are there in this match? It's madness. That's why not having an execute really hurts. Blade said, I think he's been a Warden once since the patch dropped. If flies are flex or have to have it. I don't know. I think it Fletcher's kind of a flex spot. It's nice for the minor vulnerability, and the dot is pretty good. Plus you get the animal passive, which gives you more damage. Okay, we've got a bit of spam. Let's just remove that. 1 second. Sorry about that. He really walked into that, didn't he? Did you see that? He is tanky here. Ooh. At least you got low health. That was a cheeky roll to cancel there. That's unfortunate, Dawnbreaker. Oh, the DK burst still is ridiculous. Honestly, that burst is mad. What did you say your front glyph was? Front trait is infused, I think. Infused, absorb magicka. Yeah, absorb magicka, if I recall. The ult is Dawnbreaker of Smiting. Is a corrosive on AS. That's the DK dead. A DK shouldn't lose to a magical Warden. You can spam with executes. Oh, it's like bang, bang, bang. But the Magton definitely works. But you really have to work for the kills compared to other classes. Yeah, infuse, absorb, magicka. Because of Torag's Pat, we proc that every 2 seconds. Which is basically like an extra 668 magicka recovery, which is really good. It's these execute the dip. I went to go for the kill. And he said, it's the DK behind me hit it to trigger it. Yeah, we should probably help our team now actually get the ball. Oh, that's my build. You don't spam beam on me. But that's what I do to people. You literally you spam javelin to build up the power of the light, and then you use beam to execute them. It's really cheesy. If someone does that, you have to bash them, like I was doing. Because if you rolled, you're just dead. But yeah, that was good. 14-3. So let's look at the poll. It's people saying keep on the Warden. Let me see if. Oh. Can't multitask, as you can tell. He's in a dungeon. I was going to see if I can get someone to craft me something, but the person I asked, so somebody's not on that I would ask, and the other person's also in a dungeon, so I don't want to kind of disturb them. Oh, if you could gibberish, that would be quite helpful. What I was after is a Wretched Vitality infused ice staff with a frost glyph. Like, very specific. I'll put it in chat. And what I was going to do is drop one of these. Not sure which one. Maybe Vigor. Although Vigor's very good. That big heals. Ah, there's not enough bar space. That's the problem. All that food. Whilst we're waiting, I'll switch to my beam thing, I think. Because we've used the Nightblade tonight. We've been on the Magnum for a couple matches. So we'll go on the beam plar, just spam beam basically. Really cheesy. But it is really fun. I saw Shadow going, it's alive. Look, see, there's my DK, he's 25. He is getting there. We could do some low level BGs, which is mind numbing, but we could try that. But then we'd have every character or every class on NA, which means we can make any build we want, which is what I've been trying to get over there, which is why it's taken a while. Whilst that loads, I'm just going to open the door, okay? So, on the beam plar, and this is really funny. So literally we just spam beam. It's like literally the aim of this. And yeah, it is pretty silly. we can a few flex spots. So we can use Vigor, or we can use Live in Dark, which is also very good. Vigor's more armor and like loads of healing. What's the Vigor? 20k tooltip. BG is ready. So I haven't made a video of this build yet, but I'll show the sets in a moment. And before I forget, if you do want to ask any questions after the stream and stuff, I do have a Discord. There's a link in the chat if you want to join. There's loads of classes, like channels in there and stuff, and people will help, and I'll help if I can. So yeah, you can join there if you want. But yeah, details are there if you want. So on Chaos Ball, again, it's always Chaos Ball. This is using Oaken Soul. I'm using Cyrodiil's Light. So while you're casting or challenging, you have 50% damage reduction, and when you're interrupted, your next magic skill is free. Which means we get interrupted, we can spam our burst still, which for free, which is awesome, and it also gives us sustain. So it's a really, really good like combination. But there's certain builds that go up pretty strong or pretty busted. That's him dead. Nope. Bye bye. There we go. 2 kills. Dead. Ah, oh, honestly, it's glorious this thing. It's like so stupid. Oh, awesome, cheers for that. Bye bye. All it takes is him to get low, and then they just get killed. Those and corrosive he is. Oh, that's all 3 of them. Because that was glorious. Yeah, I haven't made a video for this yet. What do you guys think though of it? Like it's definitely a weird way to play Templar. 8.9k crit. Death beam for the win. What's mad is the beam heals us when we use it too. There's not lots of healing, but it's enough when you're at low health. Oh, bye bye, mate. So you might notice I charged it up, yeah? There you go. So I used to spit the javelin because it has 100% penetration. So although it doesn't do lots of damage, it bypasses armor. They got me in the end. I ran out of resources. I had 15 kills. Bye bye. Pop. Hello. $12k execute. It is really fun, it's just really, really cheesy. CT rake, that'd be lovely. There, I got him. I got stunned and then hit with someone else's beam. Yeah, it's not as bad as Corrosive Oak and DK, but it's still there. Like, definitely up there for sure. And it's just because beam's OP. All he's got to do is get him low health, and then he'll die. Dead. Honestly, beam does so much damage, it's insane. Like how you can like use that as like a normal skill. But this is an execute. Look at the stall dip. 12.5k with no CP. That was Oaken there. See, that's his corrosive. He's got me twice with that corrosive. But gibberish. This is what I use for the citrus fillet on. So my mag recovery is 2.2k. So I can pretty much spam beam infinitely, as you've probably seen. Like, my magicka is not an issue. And I'm moving out of stamina, to be honest. Streak away. There you go. I thought it was in a streak, it didn't. There you go. Oh, that got hit with the CC. You can see me like pushing the CC break and it just wouldn't let me CC break. I think it was out of stam. $27 to 4. That was good. But yeah, that's my beam bar. Would you say this beam build is OP or not? But you got to see it in a match. We can do it one more. I think, and Shadow's done the star for us, the Warden. The damage is really low. When you get to that, it's like stupidly high. Nice stuff. So cheers for that. That's really appreciated, and it's gold. And it's infused. That's going to be on the Warden in a moment. So I get asked, by the way, for like these kind of weird, stupid builds, and I make a lot of them, but I don't normally publish them because you find that if people like make really silly stuff and it becomes meta, it makes the game really unfun to play. Like if people was doing this to me, I'd be really annoyed. I'm not gonna lie. And there's no reason why you couldn't do this as a Zerg. Like my sustain is 2.2k regen. That's insane, that is. So I've got like loads of magical recovery. I get sustained if I get interrupted. So I can pretty much spam this. Which is just like mad, actually, when you think about it. And if I actually tweak a few things, which I did play around with, I could get it so where I have more sustain than this costs, and it still hits really hard. But I can just imagine like a Zerg running this would just be stupid. So we'll use that in a second reroll on the Warden. We're gonna swap Live in Dark figure to Live in Dark. This is also really good as well. Only because it snares people who hit you, and it's really annoying to fight against.
Oh, do they actually think they stand a chance?
I hit the city pet, I did. I hit his engine guardian. You'll see where I went to be in the DK to kill him. That assault is keeping him alive. That's assault dead. That burst on DK is mad. Running away. Yeah, so his burst was really high. Oh, that was a big Dawnbreaker from the other guy. 12k. That's massive, that Dawnbreaker. Little pillars like that are really good to hide around. So I find with this it's good for snares, but you don't have as much sustain. So I've been using Vigor because I find it works better for this build. Because it's more armor, which helps prevent those really big burst spikes. There's not much more armor, but just enough. Oh, that was a good execute. That was a really good execute. I got greedy. I did. Got really greedy. Got him really close to kind of getting that kill, and it was just whoever got that hit in. Yeah, I don't, if that didn't crit, I think that probably would have killed him because I would have survived there. Polar Wind is really annoying to fight against. It was the assault that did it. Shooting star. Yeah, Stam DK is good this patch. Stam Dun, sorry. Oh, they have so much healing power. Streets away. I find the beam doesn't always target who you want to. It's only thing that's annoying about it. Well, 5k stat. There's a lot of healing power in that match though, a lot of healing power. There's like lots of self heals with DKs or with Wardens, so that's really hard to kind of bring people down. And that's what this shines when the people get below half health. But if they don't, then you kind of like, you got some damage. But if they can line us like the beam, then they would survive. We're going to switch to the Warden and do a quick one on the Warden. And I'll probably call it there because it's late where I am, like really late. So we'll do one on the Magical Warden. I'll show you Torok's packed with an ice staff. But what's good about it is that it will proc constantly. 2 points, which is perfect. Wall of Elements. Now the explosion isn't massive damage. I honestly found having the extra time was better. And we need to find a skill that we can drop, which is probably going to be Figure. So what's good about doing it this way is you can proc the glyphs on independent cooldowns. So I can do Wall of Frost, and you'll see that one's procced there, and it's procced there again. But I can also proc this glyph. So that you can basically double proc the glyphs, which is really nice. And it adds a lot of extra DPS you would not normally get. So kill this one here quick, you'll see what I mean. So that's glyph proc, that's my other glyph, and it's procced again. And there's the glyphs again. So if you can get somebody on the Wall of Elements, you can get a lot of damage out of it. Because you basically force the Torx Pat to proc a lot more than it would normally. So the Ice Glyph. And that's kind of how you use this. So the idea is that you do your Wall of Frost first when you're near the target. Then you switch into your clench and spam light attacks. So as you light attack weave, you've got this basically massive dot ticking. And it hits people for like 3k, 2 to 3k, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's every 2 seconds plus your normal glyph on top, which again is also every 2 seconds. Torx Pat is giving it 5,000 damage every 2 seconds, which is really good. But they have to be inside it, so you have to have this on the floor, and they need to be inside it. Hey, you're at top. At top says you're still a god. I'm decent at the game. There's always somebody better. I will be the first person to say that. Warden is one of my main classes that I enjoy playing. Nerf Warden. Such a good name. So he walked onto the thing in the end. Well, we have the ball, which is good. It was a lot better start, that was. He is like stupid tanky, isn't he? Really, really tanky. Oh, Beam got me. Beam got me. If when somebody walks in it, it's a lot of sustained damage. That was a nice burst there with the Deep Fisher. Jump goods, what's the best class? I'd say probably it depends kind of, and that's not really helpful, but it depends on the kind of the mode. So certain classes favour certain things. So if you're doing lots of Cyrodiil, anything that's highly mobile, like Nightblade with high burst, very, very good. So that's where you lock them in the place. So like that is where the double Torx works very good. There, see the Torx had the 2 glyphs proc there again on him. So you'll see he takes like 7 damage sources at once. And he just absolutely eats through people's health. But you have to get them on the ice wall, which can be awkward. But he's on that, and he's essentially sit on it for any moment you just die. Always struggle to get barrier. I normally just do BGs. You can do Cyrodiil. Oh, he got hit with 2 beetles and a dawnbreaker. He literally just did that guy with his executioner, just stealing all my kills. There you go, frozen with the ice stuck glyph. I've focused on there, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I've got combat metrics on, so we should be able to see how much damage the damage caused. Frozen weapon, that's my ice glyph on the back bar, yeah? That was hitting people for 5.3k. Taking people for 1k, 2.4k there. So it's like an extra 2 to 5k depending if it crits and stuff. So that was actually doing more damage than my arterial burst. So just by using Blockade of Frost with an infused Torx glyph, it is doing significantly more damage against lots of people. And that's these again. These are my glyphs from Torx Pact. So if you can get somebody in there, it's a lot of bonus damage. Jumper was asking best way to level PvP lines. As I said earlier, I do Battlegrounds. Cyrodiil is probably faster, but if you're not like sort of just sitting with a Zerg, not as good, in all honesty. So yeah. This will be my last one for the night, I think. As for the best classes, Jumper, I didn't really kind of answer the question fully, but basically, if you're wanting to do sort of play when you pick the fights and kind of be able to kind of choose how you fight, Nightblade's best for that because of cloak. If you're wanting to play a class that's very hit and run and kind of high burst, it's Nightblade or Sorcerer because they have just that kit for like streak or cloak. If you want something that's a bit brawler, kind of you can sit in the fight and do well, Dragon Knight and Necromancer and Stamina Warden are very good. Dragon Knight has the best burst still in the game. Necromancer has really good burst with Blast Bone's hit as hard as an ultimate every 3 seconds or so. So kind of there isn't kind of a definitive best, but if I was going to go what are the top classes, I'd say Dragon Knight is really up there. It's just got a solid kit currently. You go Necromancer or Warden, and that's Stamina Warden, because Stamina Warden fixes all the issues Magical Warden has. So Magical Warden doesn't have an execute or a good spammable, but Stamina Warden does with Dizzying Swing or Rapid Strikes, and his Executioner or Whirling Blades, which then fixes everything Warden lacks, which then becomes a really good class. Nightblade's solid as well. I have made a video that kind of goes through this much more, which I'll link in a second, just bear with me. So it's called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. But basically it goes through all of the classes, and I've made like a radar graph which shows how good every class is, how many build options are there and stuff, and it gives you just kind of a good kind of springboard to go from, to go, I'm after a class that's really tanky, look at Dragon Knight. I'm after a class that has really high damage, Nightblade. I'm after a class that's kind of good at everything, Warden, Necromancer for example. And then at the end of the video I go through and kind of go, these are the best classes based on what I've seen and used personally, and I've run these through to like 50 plus people on Discord and other content creators, so they give you a good idea that this is what most people say the class is like. There's always with a pinch of salt, but I would definitely look at that video if you're unsure. Blaze is going, he's been on Mag and Stan Necro almost all patch. He loves that class, can be very versatile. Yeah, I think if you look at Warden and you look at Necromancer, Warden kind of had a very clunky kit, in all honesty, particularly on the Magicka side. And then they couldn't go too hard on buffing it because of the weapon skills being so good. So historically weapon skills were very good because Stamina had to use these rather than their class kit. When they came to do Necromancer, it seems like they learnt their lessons and kind of gave them good Stamina skills and good Magicka skills, which then means it's just a very good class. And then if you're on a Stamina Necromancer, you got very good class skills with very good weapon skills. It's a very, very good class. With Magicka Necromancer, they've really doubled down on the healing, and basically everything gives you an extra buff or just heals like stupidly high, like Mortal Coil, loads of healing, loads of sustain, Spirit Guardian, tankiness and healing, or Intensive Mender, Resistant Flesh, crazy burst deals, and loads of armor. So it's just like everything the Warden kind of lacked, they learned from that and just made a better Warden, which is the Necromancer. That's how it feels, having played Warden for like years. I don't know if you would agree with that assessment, Blaze, or anybody else, but it just feels like Necromancer is the successor to Warden and is better in pretty much every aspect. The only kind of thing I might say Warden is slightly better at is healing in PvP, but the Necromancer has this very useful group buffs, and it's got the totem that you can chuck on the floor that's like an AoE anti-burst skill that you just chuck on the floor and anybody nearby gets stunned every couple seconds, which again is really good at countering burst. So I don't know, it's really hard to tell which is better, but I'm leaning towards Necromancer. I killed them both. He walked on the wall of frost and he took so much frost damage from the glyph. It's like insane. Like if you, I don't know, if you go back and watch how much damage he took. So they have to have like a massive boner for me or something. The free aim's quite nice, but you got that with Ice Clench. So that's where I managed to lock him in place on that. And he walked on the Ice Glyph. Honestly, if you walk on the floor, it does so much damage. Okay. Before I go, I want to show you the other build that I made. So he walked on that ice thing again. He's stupidly tanky. The guy in chat was up fight the objective, which I've just explained to him that every match is a death match. Oh, see, how much of that free damage does he? Oh, that is not looking good for me there. Oh, no. Oh, don't let that be the end. Kills. What should I run on my mag bomber? Is it a Magnite blade? If it is, it's always Vicious Death and something else. There you go. There you go. So I've really chased him. I would use either something like Spinners and Vicious Death, as you said, or you can go with something along the lines of Dagon's. It's called Dagon's Smite, which is buffs AoE damage. It's from the Cauldron. Oh, that's annoying. He was on the edge of the ice cliff there, so he's still taking the damage. Honestly, if you sit on the ice thing, it's amazing. You just have to like hold the ground. "19 kills. That was good. 19-0. It also gives you bulkiness as well because it makes you immune to range attacks when you spam it. Pardon me, when you spam it that often. But we'll look at the combat metrics. So there's my frozen weapon. So you can see it was hitting that guy for 3.3k. 27 hits it did. So obviously, combat metric goes a bit weird in BGs, but it just tags whatever you fight in. But these are all the player names. So yeah, out of all my damage, that was the highest damage source. So more than my spammable. And that's literally just I'm just chucking it out. So as long as you throw it out regularly, it does a lot of damage. Yeah, hitting that guy for 3k crits, 2.4k. I'll show you one other thing I was done. I've never made the video for it, but I'll set it up now, okay? So bear with me. I'm just going to pull the door to you as well because the cat's coming. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I made a build. And I've never released it because it was pretty cheesy. But the idea was the floor is lava. And so what we do is we basically stack effects on the floor and we teleport people in with Frozen Gate. And then they basically eat all the damage. It's really, really stupid. So yeah, we're going to quickly set this up and I'll just show you what I used to do. And there's a reason why I haven't released the build. Ideally we'd have the Mage Guild as well, and we'd have the Fire Rune. So you can basically chuck this out. You can chuck out Frozen Device. And you can also chuck out the Wall of Frost. And because Wall of Frost has Torx packed with it, that procs on as soon as they land inside it, which means you get 2 hits, because you get 1, they CC break, they roll, they get hit a second time. So they get 2 hits from that, they get hit from the skills, and you can use Winterborn to also make it proc, because it's an ice skill. So you end up doing like 15 to 20k damage instantly on the teleport. It's really stupid. Fun, like really fun, but really, really stupid. So we'll see how effective it is. I'm missing passives as well. Oof. Yeah, we're ways off to get that, sadly. We could use Caltrops, but this doesn't do a lot of damage. We'll keep that still, actually. And we'll drop Warden Dark Convergence. Literally, that's what it was before they released Dark Convergence. I used to use this, and I just never made a video because it was really stupid. So we're going to top all our skills round, but you have to have something on the back bar, so then that way you can maximise how much damage you do. This should ideally be Ice Reach if you were to do this live, but I'm not going to change it now because it's not worth the hassle. So I'll show you what happens. And I'll go feed as well.
Well, yes.
And then, yeah, this will have to be the last one. I said it quite often, but it does actually need to be because it's late.
You there. How would you like to do something worthwhile?
I want to eat that guy. I want to eat him. Let me eat him. Oh, there's things we can eat in there. So basically what you do is, you literally chuck out your AoEs on the floor, yeah? You then chuck out the rune, and the thing will get pulled into it. And it's really annoying to fight against. But you can obviously stack like Fire Rune and lots of other AoEs with it. So when they go into this, they all go off. So it's really, really stupid. And it also immobilizes them too. So you can like put these down, you can. Someone will run to you. And those are like ice porches last absolute ages. So yeah, it's a really weird way to play Warden. And there's a morph for this. I think the morph. I think there's one that immobilizes and one that does like more damage. Oh, it is really unique, and it's really annoying. Now, is it the best damage? No. But is it very memey and very trolly? Yes. And you use Winterborn with it too. So we'll do one without Winterborn because I don't have it on here. You can also do all sorts of things with, like, you pull them into Dawnbreaker and stuff. You can change this to Silver Leash too, and do a similar effect on like sorcerers. Although sorcerers, they had their mines nerfed, so before you could do it and pull everything onto mines and like make them hit all the mines, which is ridiculous. We might as well get this as well. I don't have skill points. Oh my god. Do I have the skill respec? Oh, that is savage. I do. Sweet. Let's go drop something else. What else can we get rid of? I'm not really low on passives, as you can see. Let's go to skill tracker. There you go. So we're going for like pure ice. I'm trying to snipe me. Yeah, someone's got Savage and no mines, and that's really annoying, that is. Trying to get with a snipe. So yeah, it's really it is a lot better with Fire Rune and Winterborn. So you get like another 2 lots of damage, but it is fun, and it really confuses people because they don't expect it. Oh, he's quick, isn't he? Oh no, my health is low. you don't have the same survivability though, but it's trolly and fun. We'll check out that as well this time. Okay, so we'll line up the dot damage on them. Yeah, it's with the hybridization, it would be better than it was because I did it when they didn't have the hybridization. Maybe not. This is the issue with healing in PvP. Like you can really out tank a lot of damage just by spamming heals. The only issue is it does mess up your stuns. So it really confuses people. Yeah, it's definitely a unique way to play it. And you want to mess around with something different, I'd give this a go. It's not the most optimal, I'll tell you that right now. There we go, got him. He wasn't expecting that, was he? Like, he was not expecting that.
We can do better than this.
I think he blew up really quick too, didn't he? That was quite a good amount of burst there, wasn't it? So many fans. Oh, did you see that? That was glorious, that was. Portal pulled him straight into it. I went to go for the scavenger maw got me in. 11-3 though. I go going, if he sees the streamer, he goes straight for him. I think yeah, people do that. I have definitely noticed that myself. But yeah, that was good. So you can see it's a very silly build, like 100% silly, but it is fun. We can see our glyphs did some work for us. That was the glyphs are just up there with the damage. Frozen Gate doing a bit of damage there. Bit of Winter's Revenge going on. But yeah, this would so be better with a Stamden or something, because you could do spin to win. So you could use Whirling Blades, which would obviously hit really hard. Or even on a 2H and use Cleave. You get a big shield while you do it. But yeah, there's definitely some really cool options you could do. If I did it on a Stamina, which I probably would actually, I would use something like Scavenge and Demise. And I'll probably change the combination, do something like Snipe. So snipe into the Frozen Gate, so that way by the time they get pulled, the Scavenge and Demise is likely to hit, because that hits really hard. But yeah, it's just a different way of playing Warden. It's not the most effective, but it is fun. I will be having to call it there in a second, but if you do want to support myself to make videos and stuff, the best way is on Patreon. There's obviously a link in chat if you want to do that, or it's down below. Obviously as much or as little as you can helps, but instead it's up to you, and it does help. If you get any questions though after the stream, I do have a Discord which I'll link in a moment. There's like 700, 800 people in there roughly, so a lot of people. Obviously we'll do our best to answer the questions and stuff. Equally, you could just comment, that also helps as well. But I'm going to go and catch you in the next video or on the next stream, guys. So I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and bye.